Last video where I sold everything at 100, I did some more testing, and you only need one miracle for a pretty long time. So what I'm doing here is more efficient than what I sold for the 4 of these. You only need one. As you can see here. Yeah. This is better. A huge margin. And I suggest, this is what I do. It's not perfect, but this is what I do. I pull this up. You see, I see all radars. And I get rid of spheres and put radars in the middle to replace them. Not perfect placement, but does not matter. And this last until the fourth white cards come from out of the hearts. That is when you know that you need to update another miracle and upgrade it fully. And it just not matter where you place it, it will always cover. Whatever it is, it will always cover. So you do not need to sell everything. The new idea is to make sure that whatever farming setup you do for 1 to 100, you don't set everything up in the end. You just make small minor adjustments, like I just did that. So this should last until the first white cards come out, or when the health goes to around the 12,000 to 15,000 range. That is when you know that you should get another Trinity, because the DPS of a single one will be able to quickly kill the Batmobile if they are at 10,000 health pretty quickly. Same for 12,000 health. But 15 is a big margin. I haven't fully tested it yet, so I'm not fully aware. Someone who's maxed wave is 200 on this. I do not have a recording as possible now. But 200 is possible. I achieved it the day that recording was made. I did some adjustments and did some tests, and I finally got 200. But I'm going to do a 100 to 150. Then I'll show you guys 150 to 200 if I can be lucky enough to do that. I'll have to do that on a new one because I did some, there were some small inconveniences that I made within this run. This is a different instance, as you can probably tell. That is because I crashed within the making of 100 to 150 on several occasions. That's why this video hasn't come out yet. That is on me because I own a Quest 2 and Quest 2 has limitation. So yeah. So 10,000 health. You see that, but it's struggling. That's why I said 12,000. 12,000's the time it struggles. So I do not want to risk it. I should be okay with 105, but after that I have to add another Trinity and add one more so this because of corners and stuff like that. I would get rid of Trinities in the back, the radars. As you see, the white cars are coming, so you have to quickly do this. Really depends on placement of radars. You cannot find the placement where all the radars hit, that is fine. And now I should be good. For some reason that also upgraded some radars as well. That will happen because VR is very stupid. That is why I recommend, if you ever want to do an efficiency run, bring a desktop friend with you, because it is easier to upgrade one at a time, and it is twice as efficient as being on VR. VR, you have the very common occurrence of accidentally upgrading something you don't need to upgrade. For example, those two radars I accidentally upgraded. You only need 4 planes, as per my testing. As long as those planes are in the middle of this like big little circle, you are fine. So yeah, the first wave of white calls come out at 105. I'll make sure to keep in mind for this later, because I'm going to do a different instance test on 1 to 200, because I once again did not have the most efficient run of this gameplay. I'm just showing the way I usually do. Well, normally I would have the 4, but you don't need 4. If you can figure out the 2 spears, two of those beams is the same price as the VRCHAT, tier 3 miracle. Yeah? So when you get that, you usually have all the radars covered. When I usually get them, right? But I like waiting, at least personally. So you could also do this, have a tier 3 miracle, turning your 50 to 100 setup, and it will work just fine. However, selling everything, most of everything at 50 just to afford a tier 3 miracle is not as efficient as some might think. However, by the time you're ready to get to have 2 of the maxed out spears, the infinite lance, By the time you have both of those, if you sell both of those, you would get a Trinity. I mean, not Trinity, a tier 3 miracle. This makes sure you have 4 planes. Only 2 planes up at the moment. As long as one is near the center, you're fine. We'll make sure to get 2 planes though. Save up 200k. And then delete the 2 spears in the middle. And replace them with planes. And then put your miracle on the back. It covers all the way, that's covered. And eventually, when you can, upgrade it to Trinity. You can do that. I'm not sure if it's more efficient. I like using the 2 spears because they stick for the duration. But because you'll be having like an extra radar, who knows if it's better money-wise. So I'll be doing tests on that. I'll make sure the extra 500,000 that you have to spend just for Trinity is if you don't get the Trinity, it probably won't do as much as you hope. I'm not sure, but again, I never tested. But that extra 500k that you're spending could be useful later on. Also, when update, you do not need to use the nuke for 91. You can just use it tier 2 miracle, and it'll work just as fine, if not better. It is cheaper too. It's 150 versus 300k. So you're basically having the money you spend for an extra tower. I will have to test quad longer and twine lingots. And then the base miracle, because that's the cheapest you can go. I don't think a twin gun will help the Batmobiles faster on 91. But I would test out different ways to make that a little bit more efficient. So when that's ready, I'll have the 112 should be the easier way if that the next weights come out. And in my opinion, if they start looking around the little bends over here when the white calls come, during the 100+ waves, that's usually a sign you should get another Trinity, but not always. Because if they come and those Batmobiles do not come to the little curves, if they're still constantly dying over here, then it is still fine. So right now they have 12,000 health. Still dying relatively fast. But yes, since they have gone to the corner, just because they've gotten to the corner, I'm going to get rid of our radar. This one right here is not needed anymore. And it doesn't matter how many you get rid of, all of them will still raise the thumper, so you can get rid of some in the back if you want. So checking all the radars hit. As long as all of them hit, you're fine. And this is one reason I use a camera as well. So the next time those white cars come, I should have more than enough money to get another miracle. Or Trinity, anyway. And this is just like an extra couple of money for like... But by the time you have the fourth miracle up, for example, when you get that fourth one up, the 100 to... I think it's 124 when the third white wave comes out. It's only making 100 to 124 slash 120, 100 to 130 more efficient. It's only doing that. It's only making those ways more efficient because you get more money. But I will be testing, I think we go with 2 spares for 50 to 100. I think 2 spares, since they last that long, selling them, like, you don't need to sell them until the 99 hits, so it transforms to 100. Although, who really knows, because it's honestly up to interpretation at this point. But the basic concept is you want to have a box. Kind of like a box. If you do not have a box, then you are not doing good enough. You can still sell everything to make a box, or make a more compact box. It does not matter, because of the way the range works. Even if I were to make this more compact, it would not help. Or you can count the amount of radars I had in the previous video for 100. I think there was 4 in the middle, and 4, 8, 12, 20 radars it is in total. Not all of them were money radars. It was 20 radars. So you could sell all of them to try to make them more compact. As long as it's 20, it doesn't matter. And you want it to be something like 4, 4, 4, 4. The 4 in the middle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. So because of that, I'll be selling that one and that one. To give it the example. So 4. It was a bit in the middle. That would be drag more over here. So there's no reason to have that one and that one. And I could move those 2 radars more inwards. Again, because of how this goes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which would give me 5 more Trinities. So for to begin with, that's 9 in total. And that's all you need is 9. You can try to get more than 9. I'm not sure if you can get 10. If you couldn't get 10 before 165, you're golden. But of all the times I've done this, I have never been able to get 10 for 165, which is the way where you have to kind of really know what you're doing. So the next white wave comes, that's when I would know. That's when I have to put the next Trinity. That's if it struggles. So right now, it looks like these vehicles have 9,000 health, as you see right there, 10,000 being the highest. And that's because of how health ramping works for the beyond 100. So how that works is, if it's divisible by 5, it's extreme health ramping. So like 100, they start at like 12,000 health, but you will see that they don't get that back until like 110, 115. So like every 5 ways past 100 is like when they're gonna have a little bit more health than what they normally have, and you will see that the little concept happen at least a lot more times. A lot more times. And I mean a lot. So for example, when the 120 hits, you're going to see the health suddenly ramp up from 1300 to maybe 15, maybe 16, maybe 17, 18, etc. It's like a significant increase. And it is 119, so 100 to 120-ish. You saw that white calls right there. But they weren't leaking as much. I'm still going to toggle that off for now. But you saw the white cars were coming out, but the automobiles didn't come to the bend. You see, suddenly 117, 15,000. It's wave 120. Suddenly the health shoots up massively. They're almost at 20,000 already. And watch, as soon as it hits 121, it is going to ramp down extremely quickly. So if you were able to survive 164 just fine, you have to, or 165 just fine, without any special tricks or anything like that, then you are able to survive until 169, where the health suddenly ramps up considerably at 170. That gives you an extra 4-ish waves to gain some money and do some quick thinking, like maybe add another Trinity or something. That is up to you. But you will see, as soon as I press this button, the highest we are going to see is at least 15,000. Should anyway. And as soon as it reaches 125, the health is going to considerably ramp up back again. H stands for health, by the way. So yeah, I did not need another miracle yet, or Trinity. I did not need one yet. So I am still good. I am still able to handle that which is 15,000 health, but as soon as wave 125 is about to hit, then that is probably when I need to start adding another Trinity or something soon-ish. About. Run into time anyway. See, I'm very curious. Yeah, I could technically put a Trinity in that little corner right there. Because all the radars would hit. I'm actually curious. Okay, so yeah, it's actually block it. But yeah, next wave, I have to add another Trinity, as I am going to die. So whenever that happens, 100, that wave is extra income, an extra boost of 5 versus 5.6, I believe. It's 5% for a little bit, but then goes to 5.4, then to 5.2, then back to the 5.0 that it usually is. With 4 Trinities. I'm still not 100% sure someone could do the calculations for me and stuff like that, but by the time that wave 100 is ready, you have enough money to buy a Trinity anyway. So it's like I'm really contemplating, is it a good idea to add a Trinity some point within 50 to 100, or is it better to wait until 100's about to start? $17,000, 18,000, 19,000. So probably gonna be seeing 20,000 in this wave, and then not 20,000. In the next wave, we're probably not gonna see another 20,000 for a while. But I think that was a 27,000 I saw there for a second. That was 17,000. Still able to handle something that is 20,000 health. But as soon as that gets to maybe 22,000, 23,000, it's probably gonna start leaking. Funny enough, when it's 30,000, 8 Trinities is not enough. So we will probably not see that 20,000 again. And there we go. That is the sign that we need to. So it's 100 to 126. So a little bit after 125. It's started to leak a lot. Look at all that. Look at all that. It's beautiful. And sorry for not making any other videos. I thought those were like self-explanatory enough. Non-commentary is something I'm kind of used to. Let's just delete that one. So it's like we were to put it over here. Someone was hit earlier. Yeah, because those will be ones I'm getting rid of sooner or later. As soon as that one hits anyway. Whatever. Should be able to put one right there. Actually. Because of the way hitboxes work. Should be able to put this a little bit more. This is very wonky because you don't know what angle it is at. So you have to really dodge. I think, oh, as soon as I grab it like this, I know what the angle is going to be. But nope, it does not work that way. Regardless, we can just use this little contraption. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're good into the next weight wave. It might be a little bit more efficient, who knows? I haven't tested to see if 1 versus 4, if 4 is better, because it's a little bit more against the long run. But who knows? It probably is more efficient just to use 1 compared to 4. Because of the way the money works, you're probably making back that 500,000 anyway. Plus, you're selling the 2. You're selling 300k, 600k worth, and you're downing that by 200k because of airplanes. Actually, more like 400k because it costs money. Yeah, it's more like 300k. More like 300k. You're selling. looks like 100. Yeah, it's more like 100K. So think about it, since it's 200,000 for the airplane in total, or at least around that anyway. It's just 50,000 versus 50,000. So that's 100,000. 150,000, if you want me to do the math properly. There we go. Now I'm prepared for Trinity, just in case. And the next time the white cars come, I will be prepared. And keep in mind, this is to 150 only. But if I go past that, and actually months to get to 200 again, using this setup, I will upload it for people to try out. And these tricks were originally not mine. This strategy is originally not mine. I am not the one who created it. It has variances of multiple different strategies that I have watched and seen. The first strategy goes to the 100 plus setup of Acme's Wave 100, only slightly edited due to the original old record holder of a 142 back in patch 1.0. So it's a slightly edited version of that. And anytime there's an update that fixes something about the towers, I will post it in the video. Depending on like which video will depend on what it fixes. Like for example, if the money bug where it deducts 1 cent per kid is ever fixed, then I will post that. Because right now, as you can see, I am getting 5,000 per kid. But I'm also losing out on one side, and that is because of the floating point issue. So, like, for example, if I were to kill 1,000,000 cars within waves on 100 plus, and this bug was going on, that's 1,000,000 points lost. And that is very game breaking. So if anyone's wondering why they can't afford that much, it is because of that floating point issue, which Anton will be fixing in a future update. So once that is fixed, it might be easier to do wave 200 than it currently is. As far as I'm concerned, it's because of the tower cap limit going from 20 to 25. So if you have 20 plus radars, it breaks the limit. It also happens when you have more than 20 towers in general. And it also happens if you just have a single airplane for some weird reason. The tower limit doesn't need to be under above 20. This one airplane breaks up for some reason. I mean, it finances once and once, but in the long run, that could easily translate to 1,000,000. Right now, it's only like 12,000 lost because like I counted them on the queues. But like, if you are to somehow find a way to go beyond 200, for example, that a million could potentially be something that could get you an extra heart or more damage in the end. So yeah. But if you see another video from me today, that was because I managed to finally get 200 again for like the third time in a row. Well, not the third time in general. Yeah, for those that are out there and you're listening to this right now, Wave 200 is possible. I have not been able to get a recording of it for a while now because every single attempt of proving that I've gotten to that record has caused me somehow crashing mid 200 or before 200 hits. So that is the only reason why I have not posted any screenshot or proof that I've gone to Wave 200. Just letting everyone out there know that it is possible. In every setup that we've seen so far from people, at least VOD-wise, recording-wise, everyone has had their 1 to 100 efficiency be utterly terrible. The current wave recorded legit record being Radiant Solar to 178. His 1 to 100 is not the most perfect. And I'm still tasting some things to see, like, is this more efficient? Is this more efficient? Like, instead of selling at 100, I think I'm going to be testing these setups after I sell at 150 instead. Just put a huge difference node out it. But yeah. Also, huge example, 135. Now we're seeing near 25,000 health on this. Almost 25,000. Probably seen a 25,000, but I wasn't paying attention. 24. So we're getting into the 25,000s right now. And they are also starting to leak, but as soon as this wave ends, 140 is when I need to get before 140 hits is when I'm going to need another Trinity. Well, I'm going to need one right now. I will not need one right now. But you see what I'm saying? Suddenly, as soon as this wave ends, I will not see another 2,500 for the next 5 waves. Like, all of a sudden, I don't see a single 20,000 so far. This suddenly vanishes out of nowhere. So, like, people are most likely going to die at a wave that's visible by 5. And right now, the theoretical maximum wave is actually 225 is the theoretical maximum wave, according to my calculations, because the maximum DPS you could have is 10,000 if you do double dipping strategies where you double dip your damage. Well, in a single instance, because of the way this one curve over here works. This is where I also would normally have a 5th Trinity. So I did some good somewhere. Or I wasn't paying attention and a white wave passed by me. But yeah, as soon as I see another 20,000 start appearing, I'm gonna have to do something, because I don't have enough DPS for that. And technically, I am double dipping right now in accordance to them being at spawn, but later on, I will need to double dip over here instead. And I should start seeing white cars at 139. I have to get another Trinity up for 140, because if I don't, I will die. 100%. Because that is the moment I will see 125 to 25,000s and 26,000s, as well as 27,000s, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah. Wave 135, I was seeing a lot of 20,000s, but all of a sudden, not a single one yet. So every 5 waves, that health ramps up considerably. But as soon as that wave ends, it just goes back down. So it's like every divisible by 5th wave, there's like a sudden jump in increase, and after that wave ends, that decrease goes back to normal. That increase goes back to normal. Goes back down. This should be the wave. If not, I will definitely need to add a Trinity. Did I not see the white call wave? Come on. Or does that happen at 140? It's weird. See, knowing when you need to add another Trinity is good. So, like, I need to do more tests of this, like, see how far 4 go, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, and if possible, 10. Because with that short made, I can hopefully predict when, like, for example, I could afford the rest of my. I could afford buttload of Trinities right now if I wanted to. But the fact is, I need to greed harder. Because this will eventually be the price of one Trinity. Eventually. Because that's how I said it was going to work. So I'm going to delete that. I wonder if I put it over here. As I figured. So you need a 15 before 140, definitely, because I was struggling with 4 on 35. And now I'm gonna start suddenly seeing 20Ks again. And there's the white cause. Massively increased health. It looks like I didn't see the 24s again, so maybe it's like on a certain frequency. Every 10 or 15 waves, maybe. I'm trying to think, why did I see? But anyway, the next time weights come out, it's probably going to be when 150 is about to hit, so I'm going to see about that. I'm going to add 4 hearts. Just prepare for a Trinity. But again, this is just gonna go to 150 anyway, and you only need 5 if I remember correctly, or 5 or 6. 6 is minimum. 5 8 might be a stretch, but I'm not 100% sure because I never fully tested it. Mainly because I do not have the time to be able to do so. Current verified record is 178, whereas I can say I've done 200 for all. I can say I've done 200 until the fucking sun turns black. Eclipse happens, the next blue moon, and no one will believe me unless I have recorded proof. Especially when it comes to the current verified record holder. Pretty sure they wouldn't believe me. But considering how I can do 1 to 100 and be more efficient, and I could probably add like a Trinity or 2 onto their setup. They might believe me. Some people might believe me. But it is possible. It is very possible, and I hope if you're listening to this, if you've watched these efficiency guides, Radiant, I hope you use them and see for yourself. Play around with them if you so please. If you find a way to make them more efficient, please let me know. But so far, I've been able to get 9 Trinities, and the record holder has done 8, if I remember correctly, 8 or 9. I can barely get a 10th one. I know I can get one. This is so close. This is so close. But considering you only need 4 planes, is per my testing as proven. And you also only need like 1 dumper, because for some reason people think you need to use 2. And the only case where I think you need 2 is if selling a temporal immediately resets the rewind resistance. But I don't think that is true, because Antonio's confirmed that is not the case, but who knows if anyone has tested to see if that is the case or not. If it is, that means that maybe 250 is possible. Maybe 300 possible. But again, who knows? So the way this works, I could technically get 5 more Trinities right now, because that's 4,500. No, 5 times 9. 4.5 million. Thing is, that's 400,000. That's like 14,000. I saved that so far. But with how expensive this is going to be, if I bought 4 haunts, they'll probably put me under 45. But since that is the case, I do have 5 cannons. Okay. I think I'll be good. I've not seen the white collie happen yet. But because I'm not sure if I will be able to handle 150. See, 28,000. Suddenly near the 30,000. So I will have to act very quick here. And add 1 Trinity. And see if all the values are 4.6. Yep. All right. Yeah, suddenly I can't buy. But since I have 6 now, that means I only need to have enough for 4 if I want to get 10. And 9 times 4 is 36. That means I have 9 million in the bank that I can use for hearts. That is really stressful though. I might have died if I had not added another one. So yeah, 6 is definitely needed. 450, because I would not have survived 150 if I managed to survive 145. So that look, that was near 30,000, and now I'm not seeing it again. So every 5 waves is, or 10 waves, I'm not sure, maybe 15. The health insanely ramps up. Insanely. That would explain why 165 is super hard, because that's 15 waves after 150. If my 15 is. My 15 ramp up is correct. And suddenly my frames just decided to eat it. But I should be fine. give it a while. So yeah, I can add 4 more lives right now. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can do 2 Trinities. And look at that. So basically, if I buy 4 more hearts, that's the equivalent of buying 2 Trinities. But, yeah. I'll be able to do 150 just fine with 6 Trinities. Should be able to do anyway. You'll probably see a 30,000 pop up. Most likely. So, if it was going by 15, it would be 160, 165. Then 175. Oh. It's probably when 50,000 comes out. But yeah, the maximum DPS you can do is 10,000. But that's only what you double dip. If you do not double dip, the maximum you can do is 5,000 a second. In order to beat anything after 180, you need to have that much DPS. Because they start getting into the 50,000s. In order to kill that, you need to make sure you do enough damage to kill them within at least 10 seconds. So at least 5,000 damage a second. Otherwise, dead. But yeah, that was 100 to 150. I'm not sure if this is actually more efficient. I could be wrong. Someone could have it be done more efficiently than me. And sorry for not using my mic in earlier instances, but yeah. $30,000. The health ramping in this is insane. But 6 is enough to get you past 150. So if anyone is struggling with weighs 100 plus, here's an easy way to get 150. You just need 6 Trinities, and that's it. That's all you need. All you need. So that has been 100 to 150. If I can manage to do 150 to 100, I will upload a video on it today. But if I do not manage to do it, you'll see that when I do.